I want to move now to Victoria if I can. Extraordinary job advertisement from one of Melbourne's most woke local councils. Darebin Council is hiring a new street sweeper. The only catch is, though, you have to be a non-male identified person to be allowed to apply. Amanda, you're in the AG's area. Is this legal?
It's a legal thing to do. Section 12 of that Act provides that you are entitled to put in place special measures if you think there's a need to balance up the number of people of different attributes who are doing particular jobs. But the real question we should be asking is whether or not we should, because really what we need to be doing in this country, a country of opportunity, a country where anyone can make a go of it, is to remove all barriers and obstacles to people getting ahead, but not guaranteeing any particular outcome. That's how we make sure that the initiative and the hard work and the talents and the skills of every individual are allowed to rise to the top. And so we should have the best street sweeper for the job that council can get, whatever their sex, colour or creed is, and we should do that for absolutely every other job in the country too.
Something that's becoming a bit of a pattern here. Former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair has again spoken some sense. After slamming the Biden administration's withdrawal from Afghanistan as imbecilic, Blair has issued a stark warning about the threat posed to the West by radical Islam. According to Blair, Islamism is a first-order security threat which could also lead to bio-terror attacks in the future. Joel, you're a former Defence Minister. He's spot on, isn't he?
Yeah, I think the former Prime Minister has made some very valuable contributions to the public debate in recent months. He talked, of course, about the state of the Labor Party in the UK and the march of what I call the excessive progressives. I think he called them the radical progressives. I'm not sure he's on the mark on this one. Certainly, the success of the Taliban in Afghanistan is going to embolden a whole range of terrorist groups, and we're going to have to put in some additional resourcing and, of course, seek extended global cooperation on this issue. But it's not a state-on-state threat. And on the other side of the equation, Russia, China, and the Western nations, and I'll add Pakistan and even Iran to that equation too, all have risks to them as a result of the reinstallation of the Taliban. China, for example, has that large Western province dominated by a different Muslim ethnicity and all the problems that brings for that country. And now they have a border with a Muslim Taliban. So they have some, there are threats to all of us in this, and there's no doubt the terrorists are going to be emboldened. So he's not wrong, but he's not right either. I don't think it's our primary concern when you have a look at the geopolitical situation or the strategic situation for most Western countries in particular.
Yeah, that I agree there. Amanda, in Australia, we've got 8 individuals who are currently subject to so-called control orders. This is under anti-terror legislation. The Auckland terrorist, he injured 7 people. He was subject to similar strict supervision, still got a knife in a supermarket and away he went. Does the government have to have another look at how we monitor these people?
The government has, with the help of the Parliamentary Joint Committee on Intelligence and Security, been carefully working through, over a number of years now, a range of different powers and techniques that can be used by our intelligence and law enforcement agencies to keep a lid on and to monitor this kind of problematic behaviour in our community. But Australians can take great comfort in knowing that we have extremely well-resourced intelligence agencies that received an extra $1.2 billion in the last budget. And the Morrison government is investing a further $2 billion in this budget to make sure that this country is as well prepared and as resilient as it can be to be on the ball for threats of this nature and able to adapt as a people, as institutions, as an economy to what is a changing and uncertain world. I think we can have great confidence that Australia is more prepared now than it has been for a very long time to cope with this changing landscape.
All right,
can I just say,
thank you for your time. Please, Joel. Joel, yes, quickly.
Well, Blair's thesis is that the precipitous withdrawal has launched this big new global risk. Now, while that is not untrue, we couldn't stay in Afghanistan forever. And as Biden, dare I quote him, said, it's pretty hard to stick around to fight for a mob that aren't prepared to fight for themselves. Now, Afghanistan was taking enormous resources away from the very matters that Tony Blair has expressed concern over.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but it's how you leave, not when you leave, it's how you leave. Amanda Stoker, Joel Fitzgibbon, thank you for your time.